The pros and cons of a private equity play start with the pros. There'll be more money up front for the physician owners. Typically, you won't get 100% of the money. A portion of that, or percentage, and typically these days approximately 30%, would be deemed rollover equity. So you're going to be a part owner in the private equity firm's business that controls and manages your practice, in the hopes that there'll be a second transaction 3 to 5 years down the line. The private equity firms today are not into holding the interest in the medical practice long term. Their ability and desire is to acquire practices, increase the number of practices, enhance revenue, and then flip it in the 3 to 5 year period. So in as much as you may do due diligence to make sure you have the private equity partner, long term, they're not going to be with you. So if you're a younger physician, this is where you're going to be for the years to come. As sellers of a business, you'll have a restrictive covenant. Employees in the business will also have a restrictive covenant. So those could be severe and long-term and all-encompassing, so the transaction in exchange for the sale will have some of these strings attached going forward. In addition, a negative is that you're not going to be your own boss anymore. You're going to be an employee in a practice that you no longer own and control the hiring and firing, etc. So if you value independence and you value autonomy, a private equity play may or may not be good for you. When a practice does a private equity play, a portion of the proceeds are going to be deemed rollover equity to be part of the management company that is co-owned by the private equity company and the physicians who sold the practice, in the hopes that there'll be a second or third liquidity event to enhance the purchase or sale of the practice. That may or may not happen, depending upon the private equity business model and their ability to leverage themselves. It may not last that long, or in the future, there may not be a market for the practice that there is today.